Hello, it's Melinda. Today I am bringing you this awesome sketch from Eileen at Scrapmazing to celebrate her Scrapmazing September. She has created a sketch, her first one ever, and she has asked me and a few other YouTubers to do a little video of our interpretation of her sketch. So I have printed 6 pictures of my daughter being dropped off at college just last weekend. And as a little bit of a bonus, this goes with this. I have been inspired by her sketch to do something a little bit different. So you're going to get to see 2 pages made today. They will lie next to each other in an album, but it's not a 2-page spread. But I have these 3 pictures. It was 1 picture that I cut into 3 in my software that I'm going to stack this one on top of the other one higher, and after I cut the white frames off. And I'm going to border it. It'll be a pretty simple layout, but it was inspired by this sketch. See the green? I had pulled quite a few greens to see which one worked. And I think I'm going to put these letters, probably not in this color, down here. That's her, MSU is her school name. And see where that goes. But so today you're going to get two layouts for the price of one, so to speak. Below you will find a list of the other participants doing this today. And of course, you'll find a link to Eileen Scrapmazing, so you can check out all of her wonderful things she's got going on this month for her birthday of YouTube. Thank you. Put you on fast forward now.
I'm going to start out by trimming all these photos, and I do not make you watch me trim all these photos. And there's the last of them. There's quite a few. And I normally just scrap with 1 or 2 photos on a page, so this was a lot of photos for me. I'm going to get the trimmer out and trim the white cardstock for the bonus layout to 11 by 11, 11 and a half by 11 and a half, I think. And while I'm there, I'm going to trim off the manufacturer strip for the sketch layout. I'm going to bring out my Stampin' Up! Cutter to basically gut this page, and my blade is chewing up my things, so I try a few things to try to make sure. I thought it was the paper in the track. Nope, that's not it. I just need a new blade. So I have a new blade. And now we are all set. But I plunge it in at the 1 and cut it down to the 11, and that's how I gut my pages. We're going to put together a little bit of the bonus layout. I'm going to take a very thin, I think it's 1/8 inch of score tape, because I know I'm going to sew on this and I didn't want to gum it up, and I wanted to hold it in place, so this was the easy way for me to do that. Sometimes I just wing it and flip the page over and use my ATG gun and just flop it down and hope for the best. But with the thin border, I wanted to be very careful that I kept a equal distance around it. Because it's so ragged in the back from the cutter, I'm going to put tape on the back just to hold it together. I'm going to pop the back ones up on one thin layer of fun foam. This is self-adhesive. And then the center one is going to get, I think, 3 layers. I know it doesn't need to be that big because it doesn't need to go on top of the other ones. So just a thin one. And I don't think it's up enough, so I would do another one. It's kind of cupping with fun foam on it, so if you see me bending it, that's why. It was kind of tipsy on the sides, so I had to put at least 1 layer. I'm going to stick these down so I can get an idea of how they lay out. I'm going to end up, I'm trying out titles, sorry. Those are C'est La Vie, Pink Paisley, C'est La Vie letters. I'm going to stick with hashtag move in. And I got them laid out. I want to use this paper in the layers on it, but I first want to cut the letters in this, so that's kind of why I'm going back and forth between the 2 layouts. And I'm going to speed this up for you. I just trace it, and then I'm going to cut them, and I'm going to layer. This is on, the white is a thick watercolor paper, and it had some stability. This green paper is less than thick. It's not real thin, but it's not as thick as watercolor paper. And I'm going to sew around them, and I wanted the stability, so I'm going to end up gluing the white to the back of those. And I'm going to sew around it in gold, and sew around the letters in gold. Just a simple straight stitch. This layout is going to be very simple. Just the pictures, not a lot of embellishments. And ta-da! I'm going to cut all the strings. That was a quick look, sorry. But this is just the same paper that I backed it with, that I backed the layout with. And these are Maggie Holmes letter stickers, and I'm trying to spell out "She Has Arrived," and I'm putting it on wax paper so that I can move it around. I want it to go over top of the words, the MSU. And I realized the whole time that I'm doing this, the word in the photo hall has 3 L's. It's not moved over enough. I'm using just a scrap piece of paper to hot glue the bottom part of the photo so they end up being one unit moving around. Yeah, that side that says east is right, but I end up ripping this up before the photos at the end because it has 3 L's. I didn't move it over far enough. I'm going to sprinkle with gold. Heidi Swap Color Shine. Gold is my most used one. I'm going to roll it off with my beautiful paper towel. And just set those up there. Because I have it out, I'm going to use the hot glue gun. It'll also help them set up a little bit because the hot glue is a little thicker than just regular adhesive. So that'll give it a little dimension. I'm overlapping the letter before it. just for some interest. Now I didn't, but had I wanted to, there's quite a bit of space next to the M. I could have journaled there. I'm going to slow it down a little bit and show you a close-up. But that's it for that layout. That was fairly quick. I'm going to show you the sketch. In the sketch, she has drawn in like a banner line, and I'm going to draw it in with pencil and then stitch it in the gold. So it's just stitched in the gold. I'm going to erase the pencil line. In the end, you don't really see it as much as what I was thinking I would see it, but my photos are cut at 3 by 3. So if they'd been a little bit smaller, the layers wouldn't have taken up so much space. My photos had a lot going on in them, and if I made them much smaller, I was afraid you wouldn't see much of them. So photos cut like at 2.5 by 2.5 would have worked perfect for this. But I like the little extra dimension you have behind the photos. If you take the time to look, you can see it. And I left the strings long, so they kind of just dangle around. So this is the same green that was in the other layout, and then I just pulled some black and white polka dot from my stash scrap drawer, and also some black. That is X paper from, I believe, an Amy Tan 6x6 paper pen. So the 3 colors are going to be the black and white, the black, and the green. And of course, gold accents. And this layout gets a lot of little embellishments, little stickers and whatnot around each photo. Just trying to spread the color around a little bit. Thinking back on it now, I could have used some tissue paper in there. I often use that in my layouts. That would have worked great for this application. American Crafts Arrow paperclip, and this is a Studio Calico one from years ago, the little green one. A little ephemera pack in front of me, and I'm not sure which it's from. These are just little bits out of it. Just trying little things. I liked that tape measure scrap, but it was too blue. I ripped the ticket in half so I can use it 2 places. These are pink paisley resist hearts, but I don't put any color on them, so they're just white. I just kind of futter around, moving little bits and pieces here and there to figure out which looks best on which cluster. These are little bitty label stickers I got at Joann's. I remembered that I needed to get some stickers to say day. These are just tile stickers, pink paisley on trend. And I just trim them down because they're really wide with the letter being tiny, so I didn't want it to be so gappy. I'm just going to start gluing everything together. I ripped this in half so I can use the other half someplace else. I try to use the staple gun, or the stapler, and it was in the wrong spot. Then I go to staple again, I'm out of staples. Get it all set. Oh, no staples. Back to the thing. I will change that so I can use it, because the stapler is so much faster to put these layers together. I'm being bold and sticking the sticker right there. Normally I'm a little more conservative and leave the backing on to the very end. And I should have, because I wanted to peel that up and do something else, but I couldn't. Just the bare minimum of paper sticks out around the photos because they're so large. I debated on putting the arrow. It was the right color, just didn't have a purpose. This is a little bin of green tabs that I have. I'm going to try that. It says be yourself. And this one says hashtag perfect. And it brings in a little bit of blue, which is in the photo, so I go with it and don't think I need to add any more blue. That white paper needs to be trimmed. It's a little bit bulky at the top. So I'm going to flip the page over and trim that just a little bit. I'm going to stick that down. This layout came together quite quickly too, just it had a lot of layers and a lot of little bits to put together, to put around. This is a Gossamer Blue washi tape sheet, and I'm going to use all of this green one up. It's thin, it's like a little green polka dot, it's a bright green, and I figured it just added an extra little hint of green to little parts. Just tucking it in here and there. For the labels, I'm going to do a little bit of journaling on each of the photos that I think need it. This is where I wish that sticker was not there. That little heart was not put down already. And then I stick one down here and write on it and think I'm done. I pull it up. I don't like it. I don't like the two labels being in the same spot on two photos next to each other. That's just simply it. I like your eye to kind of bounce around a little bit instead of just read straight across. So after I stick down the letters, I think I try to peel up either of the labels and end up tearing part one. I like the O being a little askew. I put the day right on top of the N. I'm contemplating, but yep, see, I'm trying to peel that one. That sticks too well. That one, I rip it up, but I'm going to stick the be yourself, which matches the photo better. It's the finished photo of how the dorm looks. So I think that works better. I'm going to do one line of journaling right under the title. And it just says, or better known as, Mom cried most of the way home. Kind of just a little funny. Her moving in was hard on me. I'm going to slow it down and show you some close-ups. And you can just see all the little bits around each of the photos. This is an awesome sketch. And these photos worked perfectly for it. I'll show you one more look at this one. And it's still not fixed. The hall is still not fixed. And that's how they'll sit in the album. And there's Eileen's sketch. I want to thank you for watching. Please check below and click on any of the other ladies that are doing this today as well with Eileen. And by all means, check out Eileen's all this month. She's got some great things going on and you don't want to miss it. If you're new here and you liked what you saw, click subscribe. I try to post a video at least once a week. Thank you. And these are all some close-ups of both the layouts. Bye.